Hey guys, how's it going? Shinobi here, bringing you another video, and this time I'm kind of explaining, pretty much I put a video out about, I think about a week and a half ago, something like that, and it got pretty popular, and I'll link it on this video so you can go take a look at it, and it's where I go AFK and kill the Butcher, and I also kill like a champ pack as well. And pretty much I had this idea that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I wanted to be able to spend a small amount of gold and really just utilize really the really bad stats that you see on all the gear. A lot of people complain, like, why do I keep rolling these stupid stats? Like, you know, you have like the regenerating health per second, the thorns, the stupid stuff like that that people don't really ever use in gear. So I wanted to take advantage of that because usually that stuff sells on the auction house for incredibly cheap because nobody uses it. So I took advantage of that, spent about 2 million gold, and I'm going to show you my whole build behind it, my whole spec behind it, and my whole idea behind it, so you can kind of figure out how exactly I did it. And then after I explain this, there's going to be 2 clips of me doing MP1 Siegebreaker and Skeleton King. I stepped it up a level because last time I did it on regular Inferno, and then I stepped it up to MP1. Eventually, as my gold gets better and my gear gets better, I'm eventually hoping to get up to MP10. So let's go ahead and take a look at the gear here, or let's take a look at the gear and then we'll go into the abilities. So you can see that I have, for my base stats, my dexterity is not so good. I didn't really try to get dexterity. I didn't even type that in when I was searching for this gear. I just happened to get more of it than the other two, the strength or intelligence. Vitality was the big one here, and you can see that I have 171,000 health, which is like 3 times more health than my barbarian has, and he has like good gear. So, you know, definitely a lot of health and can play a big factor, and you'll see why pretty soon. Let's go take a look at the gear and pretty much tell you exactly how I decided to build it. So I ended up going with the shoulders here, getting as much vitality as possible. Resistance, life percent is very important, and then the melee attackers take 1262. This was a very cheap item. The helmets, if you're going to get resistance with these stats on here, it's going to get a little bit more pricey because I have life percentage plus a socket for life percentage again, a bunch of vitality, and a little bit of dexterity. So I decided to save a little bit of gold and skip the resistance there. Then we have on the amulets, close to about 130 something vitality, a decent amount of dexterity, a lot of resist, 14% life percent was pretty high, and then some health regen there as well, because that's a pretty decent high amount for an amulet. Around 300 is pretty good. Then we have on the chest, another place where you can utilize the life percentage, a bunch of vitality. There's like almost 300 vitality here, a lot of life. I got the life percentage, the 70% resist to all, and then also, or 70 resist to all, sorry, and then the regenerate 127 life per second. You can see a theme pretty much going on here with the life percentage and the vitality and the regen's health. And I get thorns in some areas. It's not that important. Most of the damage is going to come from your scoundrel, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So you can see pretty much all the gear is pretty much what I've been telling you. I mean, 12% life percent on belt is pretty high for sure. And then you got the pants and the reins and all that stuff. For the weapons, what I decided to do, to make the boots a lot cheaper, I took off the movement speed, and that made it really cheap for me to get these kind of stats with that, because I'm not moving anywhere, right? I'm AFK. And then we have right here, Ivory Tower. This was like 80,000 gold or something, 12% life, 185 vitality, decent block, like it's okay. The reduced damage from melee attacks is good because you're getting hit melee-wise. Melee attackers take 1,500 damage. This item has pretty much everything that I needed, so that was perfect. So I definitely went for that. And then for the weapon, kind of testing out a couple theories. If life on hit works with thorns, I still need to test that out. I don't think it does, but I'll test it out. But I did go ahead and get the life drain there, the life leech, so some of the damage that I do will actually give me a little bit of health. Consider I don't do that much damage, but still. So that's the gear there. You can see from the details, Just looking over, my total life bonus is 87%, which you can see that's kind of why I have 171,000 health. My resistances to all is pretty high for a Demon Hunter. I mean, over 1,000 for Arcane Holy, which is not really that popular, but the physical is the big one. Fire is another big one as well. Poison's another big one. Cold is not so important. If I worked on it a little bit more, I bet I can make it a little bit better. My life per second is about 3,100. Doesn't include some passive abilities that I have, so definitely really cool. So definitely helps keep myself alive. And everything else is pretty much just the normal stuff. Nothing else that's really needed for this. So now we go into the abilities. What we have here, pretty much what happens when I go into the encounter, I go to fight the boss, I use all of my beginning abilities and then take my hands off the keyboard and just let it go from there. So what are some of the abilities that I use right off the bat? Well, I have Sentry right here, which is going to heal me nearby allies for 1% of their total life per second. So this heals like my pet and everything like that. It helps out with that, helps out with the Scoundrel, heals them up a little bit, and it's not bad, and also does a little bit of extra damage, so you can throw that down and just kind of stand in it, and it does help out as well. Then we also have Mark for Death. I throw this on whatever the boss is or anything. Heals attackers for 1% of life, so you know, you can tell it's pretty big. The pet here, I think these pets scale off of your health, so I think he has around the same amount of health as me. You'll see on the Siegebreaker fight that I'm going to show you soon that Siegebreaker actually fights my pet and is like doing lots of damage, and my pet's health's barely moving because he has so much health and he's healing so much from the Sentry, a Mark for Death, and just life bonuses and stuff, because he gets those life per seconds like you do pretty much. So it's pretty awesome. Then we have also, I have to say, the reason I'm using the boar is for the life regen, and then additionally you get 15% more resistance to all. How good is that? Like, that's perfect for this spec. Then Chakram, which is really nice. This is something you don't have to reapply. I mean, you have to after 120 seconds, which is a long time. So my goal for any boss fight while I'm going AFK is to do it in under 2 minutes. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer than that. And you can see, just go ahead and right click. What it does is it throws this around me, so anytime anything gets within this little area here to me, it's going to like deal damage to itself. It's going to do weapon damage. Even though my weapon damage is really, really low, any little bit extra does help, so definitely big. These two are not really utilizing those. Still trying to think of what to do with these. If you have any suggestions in the comments, you can leave them. Let's look at the 3 awesome passive abilities. These work so well with this build. You have Brooding. You gain 1% of your maximum life per second. I mean, just look at that. 171,000 health. That's crazy. That's like, you can tell how much life that I get per second just from this passive ability. So the more health I have, the more I heal for, which is great. Then we also have reduces discipline cost of all skills. Not a big deal, but increases your life, armor, and all resistances by 10%. That's perfect for this build as well. Definitely nice. Then we have custom engineering, which is going to make my Sentry last 100% longer. So that's definitely nice too, because I didn't really think of anything else that I could put there. It was pretty much the best thing that I could come up with for that. So that's pretty much everything there. I'm going to roll into the clips of me doing that stuff, and I do show my gear in some of those clips when I'm doing those bosses. They take a while, so I speed it up and skip parts, and just because you're just standing there for a long time. But yeah, let's get into that real quick, and I'm glad I could explain all this stuff for you guys. And I'm also going to display on the screen a bunch of videos that I've put out over the past week since YouTube's done this new layout thing. They actually don't really, like, some of the videos aren't going out to people. So if you missed any of those videos, I'm going to be putting them on the screen, like somewhere on the right side here or something like that, while you're watching this other video. And if you see one that you haven't seen yet, you can go ahead and click it and just go check it out. So anyways, I want to thank you once again for watching. Until next time, I'm Shinobi, and enjoy the clips. I'll see you later, guys.
Lg.